Well, good evening, Papa Cloud. Wednesday, October the 6th, 4 minutes. Um, what a beautiful day, first of all, fall day. Um, I'm not sure what this thing is hanging around my neck, but anyway, it's been an interesting week, and you want to be praying for some families of our congregation in our community. Pastor Stephen had a funeral yesterday, Tuesday, and I had a funeral this afternoon. Eugene McConnell from our church, and then Pastor Donnie has a funeral on Friday down in Ekawick, father to Tracy Pike, Brendan Tracy Pike from our congregation. So be in prayer for the families involved. With Thanksgiving coming up, and I know, with some announcements made, there's some circuit breaking plans in place for the whole province over the Thanksgiving weekend, which is really difficult for many, as well as 2 more weeks of circuit breaking for some folks in the Moncton area, in the Edmundston, Grand Falls, Edmundston zone, and in part of our zone, Zone 3, north of Deerville. So that wouldn't be where we are here in Jacksonville, but it's not very far away. And perhaps in fact, I know it's part of, it includes areas where some of you live. And so we have been in these 4 weeks of October, first 4 weeks of October, where we are asking people to join together in your bubble groups on Sunday morning. Let's have an online component to our service, a shorter, but still hopefully meaningful time of worship and digging into God's Word, but nonetheless an overall shorter online component to our live stream experience. And then we would continue the service as we sort of punt the ball over to you in your homes with hopefully people in your bubble groups to continue in an offline component to our Sunday morning experience with some discussion questions and prayer items where you can spend 3 minutes or 30 minutes or 3 hours, whatever works for you. And we're going to continue that through this month, and we'll see about going forward. Certainly components of it we would want to continue. And we still want the essence of that, because we believe it offers folks 2 things that are needed: both corporate worship and personal connection or interpersonal connection. Both are needed. We can't forego the corporate worship and simply connect with sort of small groups solely, but we can't ignore the need to have people joining together in smaller groups. And so we think this is a good way to kind of engage together in corporate worship through the preaching, the music, and then spend some time together. All that said, not sure what that means on Thanksgiving weekend. It certainly sounds like that is not what we should be doing on Thanksgiving weekend. We'll still do the 2 components, but rather than having people in your bubble group in, I don't think that's able to happen this weekend. So it would be just your own immediate family, but maybe starting the week after that, we can go back to that. So keep that in mind. I just want to close with this. What we will be looking at this Sunday is our next story of faith. This one begins in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 5. It was by faith that Enoch was taken up to heaven without dying. He disappeared because God took him. For before he was taken up, he was known as a person who pleased God, and without faith, it says in verse 6, it is impossible to please God. And that story comes from Genesis chapter 5. In the genealogy or the record of Adam. I encourage you to take a look at that. God bless. Have a good evening. Keep your eyes on Jesus. It's our turn to walk by